Let's see, how does that? I have to wait to see myself. That's not bad, I guess. There's a delay. I'm not used to doing it like this with verticals. We're going to get there, though. We're going to get there. We're doing this primarily for chat, so I can monitor my chat easier. Chat. Then we're going to roll the El Caro forward. I think I was going to clean and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what I feel like doing. Not much, that's for sure. But I got to. I cut a huge chunk of my middle finger off on my right hand today. Getting dirty laundry ready to go to the laundromat. Somehow our trim piece was broke, or just a little piece of the trim, caught my finger and turned it into Hamburglar. So it's right there on the tip. And it ripped a huge chunk right out of the fingertip. And I was like, and it went deep too. It cut it. It was like a perfect, I just was reaching down to get some laundry and my hand literally swiped against the wall, caught the trim, ripped I did an engine over the weekend and didn't get one single cut. So we're going to move a few things around and try to roll this forward, and then we can get some carpet in it. Maybe work on the interior a bit. Hope everybody's having a good week. Hope everybody can hear me. I really want to take off my jacket. It'd be so nice to get this shop warm enough to where you don't have to be so bundled up. I swear that takes half of your energy away, having multiple layers on. Right now it's got one carry power, which really ain't moving her too far. That's going to probably be just great. Oh, I got a space heater in there. What better way to warm up a car than with a space heater? I was really impressed with that Volt, that Chevy Volt, and the ability of it to, well, before the battery died, and the battery is not regenerative. You have to charge it from your house. So I don't see a whole lot of point in that, but like maybe there's a little regenerative because the battery was showing 0, but yet when I was like at a stop sign, the car would shut off and then creep forward with the electric and then turn the little gas engine on when it needed forward propulsion. Oh, that's cool. This car doesn't stink like a moldy. I honestly bet you they were going to just crush this thing. Maybe not crush it right away, but so I've got the back seats in, cleaned. The back deck. The back deck is cleaned off. The rear window is wiped out. It's all pretty nice and clean up until the bottom of the seat. The rear seat bottom, I'm going to have to see if there's a junkyard that might have one, because there's something that like rotted through the cushion. So, or I thought about maybe sewing a new seat bottom on, trying my hand at automotive upholstery. So there's always that option. And turn down my music. That's not copyright protected, so I'm not worried about that. Hey, brown chicken. How you doing? Consciousness allows us to love, sacrifice, and suffer for meaning beyond ourselves. Why do we value purpose over survival in an unforgiving universe that optimizes for the whole? I don't know, man. That's deep right now. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. The snowman's here, brown chicken says. 41 degrees, feels like 10. Exactly. What the heck is going on, dude? I swear it's like 70-mile-an-hour winds, too. Soon, deep. Yes. Well, that's what she said, right? I love it. Oh, man. That's good stuff there. Really, really windy here tonight. And the shop isn't, like I said, man, it's just not heating up like it ought to. Snowman, were you frosty before? A snowy man, were you frosty before? Dude, that's pretty quick-witted, brown chicken. I like that. Were you frosty before the snowman, is what I'm guessing, is what you wanted to say. What's up? Sick bastards in the house. What's up? I don't have a good one tonight. Still too cold in here, man. Still too cold in here. I'm just getting things situated. I wanted to get this up a little higher, but I want to work inside of it, so I just don't know where to position the camera yet. I might bring everybody around from the, well, I should have done an interior shot like I did the last time. I've got this like camera set up here to face down in there. But we've got a few things to situate first. I mispronounce that word so much that I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, I am. Situate. So I think I'm going to leave it where it is. Because if I push it forward anymore, my toolbox will be right in the way. And that'll be a huge PIA. It's in the way. Real plasma edits. Do you want a gem gift? Do you want a gem gift? I don't know. Gem gifts are worthless, or are they? I don't know. Sure, send some, I guess. We'll see. If you got some to give, brother, I'll take them. I'll take those gems. I've never done anything with, I should look into the studio and see what that stuff's all about. And Andy Mulana said hi. Hi, and it's going to take me a minute. It's probably a pretty simple name. Maulana is the last. And Ahmad Mulana. Hope you're having a good night. Oh, Real Plasma Edit sent thumbs up for 10 joules. Awesome. Bro, does it use a supercharger? No. Oh, that camera angle doesn't look good. This is just a bunch of stuff sitting on it. It's just a plastic engine cover. And everything's all, like I've got the, this isn't even for it. This is for that Ecotech we just did. We just did an Ecotech motor. Right there. I need a supercharger for my phone. I do too. I hear you there. Boom. Ready to go. It just needs a new oil pump. It was only driven for like 10 miles with no oil pressure. So you need a motor that's marginal. The cams and stuff actually looks really good. Like it ran good when I pulled it in. It was just noisy and clacky. The chain was rattling, but the rods and the pistons, all it was just the timing chain was slapping because there's no oil to the tensioners, and the lifters had all gone dry in the top, so it was just all clacking away. But it'd probably do all right, but it's just scrap metal. I did want to lift it to see how heavy it is, and then I screwed up my middle finger, so I can't do any power lifting at the moment. And then on the intake is sitting on top of the motor. The intake should be under the cover. So it's all discombobulated, but we're putting the interior back together tonight, or that's what I'd like to do. I was supposed to have a starter show up for a Corolla, but that never did. So there's the back seat, I guess, what you can see of it. I'll get some better lighting here. Let's do that. Let's get some better light. I tried a vertical and horizontal stream, I think 3 or 4 times today. Failing miserably every time. Trying my best. Within reason. To get it going again. Watch a video. Screw it up. Get mad. Watch someone else. Try to do it myself. I think I'm really, really close. And I could just do it through YouTube Studio, I believe, or somehow through like a webcam through YouTube. But that might limit my, which I don't do anything anyway. I don't have any, like, I used to have sound effects, and that got all screwed up because some files got moved. And so I don't know. I might check into a few other, that ATEM TV where I got the extension or whatever for OBS for the vertical. I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder if these lights would go good up on top. Let's just set them gently up here once. There. Yeah, we got a little behind. I was hoping to put the motor in this over the weekend, but then I think on Friday or late Thursday, that Volt came out, and I'm glad I was able to help them, but it took me all Saturday and all of Sunday to get the motor done, which probably shouldn't have. But again, when you're what do I want to say? What's the word? Like an expert at nothing but something at all. Like, I don't know what you can't get good at everything ever. So like you just got to take your time and do a good job. And people that say they can fly through an engine job on a whatever brand and then immediately switch brands and go to a different one and do it. No, if you do the same brand 10 times in a row, like a Nissan, like I've done on this G for 12 years I worked, or 13, 14 years I worked at Infiniti. So repetition does build, I don't want to use the word perfection, but it's just like at the racetrack. The more, if you're just starting out road racing or starting out with motorcycling in general, the best money you can spend is in fuel, in tires, in brake pads, wearable parts, putting on those miles, learning those skills to hone everything in to thus increase your productivity, which I'm throwing away by just aimlessly talking about crazy stuff. But again, when you do something over and over and over, you get good at it. And when you don't work on Chevy Volts and you want to do a good job, take your time. You got to take your time, even though it's just, it was a fun little project, more or less. It was fun. It was weird because there's nothing on it. There's no alternator. There's no air conditioning to deal with. I mean, there is, it's all there, but you don't have to deal with it. It's just a power unit for the transmission, which is a CVT, which is kind of funny that DM had it figured out in 2012 and Nissan still can't get it right. I don't know, maybe it's had 5 transmissions. What are we looking at here? Repair video? I don't know what it's classified under. I should really go back in my settings and check, because YouTube has been putting this under people and blogs, and it should be under automotive and vehicles. But yeah, we're that and me rambling. I'm going to put in the carpet next. I'm just working on getting some lights going here. There. Oh my God, there's a fire. Just kidding, there's not. Shut that off. That's nice, or a little warmer in there. And my furnace is on right behind me, so I don't know how much background noise you're catching off of that, but I'm not turning it off yet because it's only Jiminy Crickets. What is it in here? I'm using this right now as a temp gauge for my shop. So 60. If I grab it with my finger. Look at how hot I am. But yeah, so it's like 60 in here. What it do? Mike is making stuff. Good to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well. What you making at, Mike? Says brown chicken. Mike is making stuff. There's a bedtime MMA channel. Bedtime MMA. Yeah, and he always starts his videos off, what it do, bedtime crew? Hey, man. It's pretty good. Making a mess at the moment. Yeah, that's kind of what we did here. Before we put the carpet in, I've got to clear out some interior components that we've, set down along the way. Of course, we'll remember where I put them all. I know where they go, but will I be able to find them when I need them? And I did have a few other camera angles to do, but we're just going to do this for now. I got to, all in time. I need my son to see the potential in this and get out here with a camera or be more a part of it, because he's got a good personality and funny, has a lot of great questions that not only if I can't answer, then maybe there could be some people in the chat that could potentially answer them. That goes up there. This goes right there in the floor. that goes over something like that. This one, oh yeah, one of these goes L1 arrow facing forward. So it's going to be on the left side. I guess. Oh, like a glove. Chevy says like a rock. Nissan says like a glove. Because this was the end. This was the last car, the last era of Nissan perfection. If you can use those words, you can't use those words in the same. Of Nissan quality, the best Nissan ever produced was not in 2012, but it all started a slow. It all started a fast progress. It all spiraled downhill after that. Catastrophically, more or less. So, I remember going to training in 2003 at Nissan headquarters in Aurora, Illinois, and seeing 2 or 3 full bays where vehicles should be full of failed CV transmissions out of Muranos and engineers running around just like with their chickens, with like brown chickens with no heads. Right one arrow forward, that's going to go here. And here in the Midwest, you know, if you hit an ice patch, there was things that weren't working and they were exploding really bad. I don't really think a whole lot's changed. I mean, if you service them every 30K, they're reliable, I guess, sort of. Yes, bedtime MMA. He starts every video out. What it do, bedtime crew? Hey, man. Oh. Yeah, bedtime MMA. He's big. Over 100K. Collabed with the Guru. A few other big names in the MMA world. Mixed martial arts. I'm quite proud, if anyone asked. I learned how to reflow solder and how to cut some dovetails. Nice. I have done neither, but I know what both are, so that's awesome. And carpet replacement or digging to get something else? Nope, just little moisture. The roof drains on these for the sunroof. This car had been sitting for 4 years, so the hoses for these drains plug up, and it didn't leak at all on the sunroof, but they leaked. They backfill, and anyway, there was some moisture in the floorboards. You can't even really tell. This isn't from this. That's not there. So we got it nice and clean. Everything dried out, sucked out. And we're going to get it on the hoist and put a new engine in it because the kid that owned it before we got it pounded it and put valves to pistons. My Nissan is a bucket of S8. What year, make, and model? They still haven't solved the CVT. My 24 Rogue. Oh, yeah, they're suffers recall syndrome as we speak. That's hilarious. Yeah, I was a technician for Infiniti. I don't know why my phone's doing that. Infiniti from 2001 to about 2000. Why is that? Is that the lighting making it do that, I wonder? That's better. 2001, yeah, so like 14 years, and it was just amazing quality. So many 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. But here in the Midwest, it was always rust and rot. But man, the G35s, the G37s, and then when they came out that 3-liter turbo or any 4-cylinder turbos, the Nissan Altimas in like 2010 and 12, this is all garbage, just junk, just all of it. And I always say that 2012 was the last year that good cars were ever made because all manufacturers realized that, oh man, we keep building good quality stuff. These timing chain driven V6s are going to keep going 500,000 miles on Toyotas, and you know, these V8s are lasting forever. People aren't going to be buying stuff, so we gotta cheapen it up, and now it's so cheap that you can't even. It's unbelievable how cheap stuff's gotten. So anyway, that's my my ramble on new automotive stuff. It's just absolute garbage. Trying to figure this out here. How do I read chat filters? All messages. The current recall says that the CVT hooked to the 1.8 inch tends to spin the bearings, leading to catastrophic engine failure and potential crashes. Yeah, and I mean, even like the new Tundras, I saw a guy on YouTube the other day. It's all these turbos and CVTs. Whatever happened to like 5 and 6 speed automatic? My Toyota Sienna has a 6-speed, 5-speed transmission. I don't know. Pick a speed. It's got gears and speeds. It's got clutch packs, multiple clutch packs, and it's got 300,000 miles on it. And you know, it might fail tomorrow, but it might go another 100K. But with a CVT, you know that the end could be anytime. But anyway, what I'm getting at is turbos are putting too much underhood heat, too much strain on this water 520 020 oil that cannot withstand these low torque pressures through variable vane oil pump driven engines. So when your engine's at $2,000 and producing maximum torque because it's got turbos and you're only flowing 24 psi of oil when it should be way more, because the rod stress that thing's going through when it's producing maximum torque, because it's got turbos and variable valve timing, and they can produce all that torque down low to help with emissions and blah 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 blah. That's why stuff's failing. You're putting water in this stuff for oil. How's it going? Dupid Bogan. Dupid Bogan. Now, I will say this. I knew it was on the way out, so I rode that thing hard, 87 now. That's not bad. It was hilarious. Through 60 codes, then they all just stopped. LOL. That's hilarious. Yep. It was crazy seeing all them transmissions and the smell. But what was even cooler is in 03, the GTR was re-released, I believe, or 02, 03, 04, somewhere in there, the Nissan GTR, excuse me, was re-released to the States with the twin turbo 3.5, producing unobtainium horsepower, and that was cool to see that. I did not go through the training because I was an Infiniti tech, and we were already so much cooler than the Nissan guys. But those GTRs are just stupid freaking, they're stupid cool. So cool. Like, I broke it in so it can't come loose. I think I got things stuck in a rut because it's not slipping anymore. LOL, that's hilarious. Yeah, those big chain. Oh, it's just crazy how some of their thinking. Oh my gosh. I got like some weird Discovery playlist music on Epidemic Sound, and it sounds like we're at 9:30. Okay, it's 9:30. Hey, how's it going tonight? Brian, Riff, good to see ya. I was over at my neighbor Carl's house this morning when I was texting with you, Riff Johnson, and my neighbor's 96. So I kind of just, you know, he's always, it's just, we put a TV, I hung a TV on his wall that I got from the dump that somebody put in the recycle bin. which is like an accessible bin that you can just walk up to and see. It's not like a dumpster. So the person wrote, works, just upgraded, and I took it because, like, you never know when you need a TV, 40-inch flat screen with a remote, and it says works. So Carl's TV went out, and after I was done, he's like, hey, I got a single shot boomstick. I'll just abbreviate because I'm not sure on the YouTube words what to say. And he's like, what should I do with that? And I'm like, I'll take it. And he's like, cool, done. So I got a 16 gauge single shot, and he got a flat screen TV. Sounds like a good deal to me. Yes, Caesar, we are changing the cabin filter. I think I already yanked it out. It had a huge mouse nest on it. Yeah, it's out. I already yanked it and threw it away. So it's just straight blower motor. We've got a lot of the front gutted. What am I doing right now? Just stopping in to see what yes, a pew pew. There we go. Okay. New interior. No, Brian, it sat for 4 years, and some moisture had accumulated down, just in spots and places. So I had it dried out for the last week, and we're just putting the styrofoam pieces back in, and then I'm going to slip the carpet in. We'll put the front seats in and button the interior up, and then we're going to do an engine on it. We got a new motor for it. This thing was just going to most likely go to the crusher. It's got full ARK exhaust that retails online for like $2,300, and then test pipes too. So no cats. All-wheel drive. Really good all-wheel drive system. It's a little heavier and wider stance than, like, this thing. These things hang so good in the snow. It's unbelievable because of the weight placement and how they're proportioned. But we got a new motor the other day from the junkyard. I don't want to say the junkyard, but it is. I mean, but it's like a reputable. It's got numbers and specs. And what does it say here? Any mileage? Just all-wheel drive, runs, compression. So I thought he told me the mileage. Focus. There's not good lighting. 77237. I'm gonna say that maybe that's it, which is great because these are 150,000 mile motor if you change the oil. And this one, when you get in the car and turn it on, the maintenance reminder instantly says that the oil is like 15. It's way overdue, and it's black as a diesel. And then we did pull the intake, which I need to get this off of here. It's got a sweet dual like port intake, dual twin throttle bodies. So that way you kind of, it's cool, I think. It's basically two triples that runs independently almost. And we did a compression test on it, and it failed massively. But the engine still turns over, so that's good. I can access the torque converter bolts without struggling. And of course, it's got the stick-on Go Fast carbon fiber, because that's like 5 horse. We know that. I don't know why. Well, I needed to do this anyway, but I need my hoist tomorrow for a starter job in the morning. So that's why I'm not putting it on the hoist and ripping into the the engine job, because quite honestly, I think buttoning up and cleaning and detailing the interior is going to take longer than setting a new motor. Well, not setting it in. You drop this out and then you separate it and then you put it in. But the little power plant. I really like the VQ series engines. They were really bulletproof. I had a Q45 that had a VQ 4.5 V8, and oh god, that thing would just spin 8 grand all day. I should have kept that Q. That was a fun car. Sounded so good. If one or more of you ask me about my cabin filter, I go through 2 packs of menthols. What do you think? That's hilarious. No, I could care less about. I mean, I guess at the dealer it was easy money. That's hilarious that you say that. Yeah, and this one was full of mice, debris. I think that's it. I'm going to double check for a foam insert or a styrofoam insert for down here in the passenger right front. But other than that, I think we are good to go, because the heater vents will go over the carpet. There's a bracket here and a airbag control unit that's going to go there too, but that goes over the carpet. So I think we really are getting pretty close. This doesn't go here. I don't know why. I mean, it does maybe. I know that these go back here somewhere, but I got to figure out what we're doing with the seat bottom, because he had like a construction helmet and a vest and stuff in the seat bottom, and it, well, I'll show you here in a minute. It did, science happened over time. Yeah, I wonder if this is under people and blogs, or if it's listed under automotive, because the numbers are weird. YouTube is weird with numbers. Here we go. I knew it was here somewhere. RO. Oh, this is broke off of something. I might have broken it. Well, an LO. The left hand. There we go. Decent. That really helps with the noise, vibration, harshness, and stuff. The NVH, as they call it in the industry. Putting those styrofoam inserts down into the recesses. The necessary recesses, I guess, of the floor for structural rigidity and crumple zones. And there's, unfortunately, a lot of, well, not unfortunately, but safety really plays a big factor in how a car is designed. Now this gas, or this is the dead pedal, I believe, right here. So you just I want to work on getting this done so then I can focus on spending more time with getting my camera situation figured out. I want to put like 4 cameras in all the corner of the shop, so every corner has a camera that are like wired or wireless, or what, something that I don't have to access to charge. And they could just be on more or less. And then maybe a better webcam type deal. Also a little drone maybe type action, because we have some pretty cool. Oh, perfect. I mean, not perfect. I don't like to use that word, but okay. Boy, this is nice. There's not a spot of rust or anything. This is a solid car. I want to get a new steering wheel. I should have asked him about that. And then I want to pull a lot of this fake, disgusting carbon fiber. This has polished aluminum trim. Beautiful polished aluminum trim. That's real, actual real polished aluminum, not fake quarter-inch garbage, fake garbage, carbon fiber fake. Hate that. All right, I think I'm going to bring the carpet in right through this door. Will be the easiest. Hey, old Mac, how you doing, man? Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. It is warming up here tonight. I think our cold is pushing down to you. And it's I don't even have my jacket on right now in the shop. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. And this morning on the coffee show, I got to go back and re-listen, because I was checking in for just a second and I heard you saying how cool it must be to have a 96-year-old neighbor to chat with and stuff. And it really is. It's awesome. And then today I helped him hang a TV, and he gave me a single shot 16 gauge, like an old Western Stevens or whatever, you know, but it was just really cool. Yeah, my grandpa gave me a 16 gauge, so it's cool to have that kind of gift given, and I really thought that was awesome. Hope you're staying warm down there. Hope you're staying warm down there. And kitties here are all doing pretty good. I don't think. Oh, I saw some coyotes in the field the other day. Not here, but far away. It was just neat to see them in the day. You don't usually do that often, but it was so cold that day. Lately, right now, the deer have just been popping out of the woodwork. So we're going to move this a little bit. I'm going to slide the carpet in through this passenger rear door and flop it up in there, and should go relatively smooth. Open. I think that's how it's going to go. Then get over there, and I'll come around and there. Maybe should have taken the steering wheel into. Not that I'm concerned about it, because we're going to get a new one. The person that drove it before had some kind of a death grip on the steering wheel all the time. Like they were driving so pissed off at the world that they just ground the steering wheel leather down to like absolutely nothing. You can just see it hanging like a piece of deer skin. I do, old Mac. I am so grateful. Me and Carl had a nice talk about that today too. We actually talked about your songs, how, you know, how that legacy and the meaning and you're the love that you put into your words and the love that you put into the songs, how that will carry on. And it's just really cool. I don't think I told you. Were you around? So maybe I told Dean, but so I was, old Mac, stay here for just one more minute if you can, please. Oh. So Carl, yesterday I stopped by and he had a telemarketer call. And I could hear that it was almost robotic, you know, through the speaker on his phone. But he answered it and he goes, hello? And, you know, he sounds like an old man to begin with. He's 96 years old. And they say something, you know, like, how are you today, sir? And he goes, oh, I'm not doing good at all. He goes, I'm 96 years old and I'm on my deathbed. And I have only got a couple hours left. And I'm not spending them with you. And he just hangs up the phone. I just started laughing my ass off. Like, dude, you're 96, man. Like, and you're telling this lady that you're on your deathbed and you've only got a couple hours. And it's just hilarious. But, yeah, some of the conversations we have are really good. And he's gotten into Tyler Hoover, Pilot Debrief. It's a really good aviation channel because Carl had flown for 60 years. 60 years of aviation in multiple different planes. I believe all single engine Part 91. You know, he did have some autopilot features on a few of his, now what did I do here? But nothing like super crazy. I didn't do anything here. I just got to bring this up. Oh, that's good. This comes up through here. Silly me. Silly me. And so, yeah, 60 years of of flying is a lot of experience. And his TV took a shit yesterday, so he was watching the YouTube all day. And he's like, oh man, Tyler Hoover, he goes, that guy's got a heck of a channel. And he just sure loved it. And he's like, I watched him all day yesterday. I just thought that was so funny. So funny. That does something like that. If nothing else, I might have to pull that back through. No, pretty sure that goes like that. We can always look back to the videos too and see, because yeah, I think this harness here might come out and up and over, but I'm gonna go situate the carpet over there. It still needs to be pulled forward a wee bit, but it's fitting into place much better. Doesn't smell like a dried up swamp in the summer, and looking much better. Yeah, and so he goes, yeah, about 30 years ago I found this pew in the barn down there at the farm we bought, up in the rafters. He goes, how does a guy get rid of something like that? Oh, you just give it to me. And then you don't have it anymore. So if you don't want it, I'll take it, and then you don't have to have it, and then that's the problem solved. And he's like, awesome. So yeah, that's how I got that 16 gauge. I love that. And so yeah, that was that. And then we talked a lot about world stuff and events, and you know, I think he'd say a lot of the same things you would say if asked the same questions, with differences, you know, because we're all different to a degree. But just over 96 years of good, I think if I had to say his successes to his wife, you know, he had an amazing wife. She passed away about 6 years ago. And thankfully he kept living, because when my grandpa died, I saw my grandma go with him. And as sad as it is, and you know just as well as men, you know, as the, I don't want to say the rest because I can't say I have experienced it, but old Mac, you've had a few wives. And so, you know, when the loved one goes, you, I think, can go with them to a degree, or you can embrace the wonderful times and keep on living, and maybe almost, well, not almost, but what's the word I want to use? Celebrating your loved ones that aren't here. You know, you are. So let's celebrate, bro. That's how I look at it. I think I saw that. Was that with Santa Claus on his knees and the ICE agents and the news reporter shoving the microphone right in his face? I saw the thumbnail. I will definitely check that out. Yeah, yep, it sure does, old Mac. Carl told me a story the other night that he went to his 50th class reunion. So everybody was in their late 60s, you know, 60, 67, 68. And he said 2 guys got up on stage and started talking in the microphone, bibble babble, because they didn't know where they were. And he said that was pretty sad. That was 35 years ago now for him. And he's like, they had Alzheimer's, full-blown Alzheimer's at their 50th class reunion, you know, and he's just like, yeah, man, I'm grateful, because he's sharper than me, or as sharp. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he's sharp. So I called him last night and I said, hey, Carl, I can't come over. Some things came up. I'll stop by in the morning with the TV and we'll deal with it then. And he's like, no problem, Carrie. No problem. So like an hour and a half later, Carl calls me and he's like, hey, Carrie. Said, hey, Carl. How's it going? He's like, good. And I said, you can call me anytime you want, Carl. Like, you are free to call me and we can talk anytime, but I'm just curious why you're calling me. I just talked to you like an hour ago and we talked about the TV. He goes, yeah, I know, but he goes, you just called me, and apparently I had bumped my phone and my phone had ghost called him or whatever. I looked at the log, it did, and unbeknownst to me, I called him, you know, and here I am thinking, hey, old man, you forgot I called, you know, old man, wake up. Like, no, but he's so put together. It's hilarious. I was the dumbass that, you know, made a mistake and called him, and he's so on his toes that way. But yeah, saying goodbye to the loved ones, man, I hear you. I just last week lost a dear friend in a plane accident, and not that I was close to her, but a girl from that same high school class that he was lost, she passed away from a heart attack. And they're 43 from a plane, 43 from a cardiac arrest. Dreams for me involves my wives that have passed on. Some are like heaven, sometimes hell. Yes, amen, brother. Yep, dreams for me involve my wives. That's good. That's well said. Yeah, you know, lack of stress. Like, I don't think Carl has ever had a whole lot of stress, you know. He's always put himself, I think, financially in places where even if he lost that, he would still be okay because he has this. And then again, just a good, loving, caring wife, always helping and letting him fly his airplanes, flew all over the country with his family, had a Beechcraft Bonanza. Was IFR certified, and flew up until I think just about 85, 86. Hey, it's Motobum, Virginia. How you doing? We got some carpet going in tonight. Sorry, I get talking behind the screen, staring and reading the comments, which I love. I love talking and hearing the stories. I want to run out quick and see if that little zippy kitty's there. I was thinking of you, old Mac, the other night in the super chat for the kitty food, and just wanted to thank you again for that. She might be right out here. It's pretty nice. No, not that one, but a different one. Come on. Come on. This one's a little special too. Well, aren't all kitties a little special in some way? But this one here's a little older than that other one, but my son named this one, and I'm not going to publicly say its name because it's not all that PC. Not that I care about that, but I think it's hilarious what he named it, and it doesn't want to follow me over here, so whatever, cats are cats and they'll do what they do. And the carpet just kind of works down into these little plastic deals, which is really nice. We'll get these all lined up here, get our seat holes lined up. Actually, that other one my son will sometimes yank them. He wants a little buddy to hang out with for a little bit, he'll just grab one. And now is a pretty good time of year because there's no bugs, ticks, any of those sorts. Thankfully, I've never had to deal with fleas. I've heard stories, and I think I was at a farm once where I might have gotten them on me, like my legs and socks and stuff. But fleas are wicked nasty. Wicked nasty. I don't know, you ever been bit by a flea? Whew. Not fun. Yeah. I'm like 90% positive now that I got this all in here. That I know this works under here, but I think this harness needs to be pulled back through. There we go. Yeah, just this one here, maybe. There. Oh, and we got our seats too. I gotta get our seat harnesses. Got one right here. There's that one. And then we have another seat harness right here. There we go. That way we can power up our space shuttle seats. Actually, no, I think these all go right here. There's a clip thing down there. I don't see why it would be up over the carpet, but it just doesn't feel like it should be. Did you hear that cat? It meowed for a second. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to just do a little tweak in here of unplugging and shifting this harness around a little bit. Oh, we listened to your brown chicken story, old Mac. I turned it up. Carl heard that when you were talking about brown chicken and orange chicken. That was good. That was good. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull it all out. It's going to have to come out from here. Come here, little kitty. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Yes. Say hi to the peoples. Hello, everybody. I'm what do they call these cats? Calico. Calico kitty. Nice. Watch, it just throws up all over the car, just starts dry heaving, and all of a sudden it's got like, you know, a big dead mouse in a grass pile. That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be my luck. So I need to grab a something to disconnect those. I must have put, I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. I could be a total hack and just cut the carpet right here, but I don't want to, because then it'll lose its stretch. And we're not a hack. We're gonna undo 3 or 4 little clippies and pull this through and route it the right way. Just the only way to do it. Go Fast Racing. Did you change your profile thingy? Because it looks a little different. Meow, Mao. Very pretty. Yes. She's a pretty kitty. Not as socialized as some of the others. Sit. There you go. Yeah, say hi. As Bubbles would say, that's one nice kitty. Yes. Pretty eyes, though. What's it see? Oh. It'd make a good stocking cap for the winter, wouldn't you? Yes. A kitty cap. TFR evening. I was logged into my other account, tempted to subscribe to Moto's channel and unlock his subscriber goal. Nice. I think he met it. I think Moto met it today. Hit the 2K. Part of the 2K club. I've only got 960 more to go. Catch up. But hey, it's goals. I loved Bubbles in his kitty hotel. Oh, Mac, wasn't that the best? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then Ricky screws it all up with his junk. Ricky's used shit goes and screws it all up, and it gets it all taken down. Oh, Bubbles, you just get so mad. Oh, I love that show so much. He got so pissed about that. He put so much work into Kitty Loveland. Wasn't it called Kitty Loveland? Or Kitty... something Kitty Resort, Kitty Retreat, Kitty Hotel. Yeah, the Kitty Hotel, duh. But he had some, oh man, what a great show that was. Just the gun use. Nobody ever, you know, I guess they got hurt a couple of times, but you know, that use, the use of the greens, and just the constant piss pounding of vehicles and cars, trashing everything. What a great show. And everybody loved everybody at the end of the day. Probably one of my all-time favorite shows ever, just how it was created. And I mean, it originated, I think, you know, I saw the pilot to that before it was even Trailer Park Boys, and Ricky and Julian were there were some videos on YouTube, I don't think you can find them anymore, where they were pet assassins. So they started off as pet assassins. And then, yeah, they kind of digressed into the trailer park and stuff. But they never succeeded, of course. You know, they would never ever succeed in anything they ever did. Generally, I loved the train. The train, when they would pass the bong from like trailer to trailer on the train. What were some other good ones? Let's see here. Boy, I got this all kind of a little discombobulated here. I don't think I need to move anything. I think everything's fine. I just need to pull some wires around. That goes under there. Yeah, the trailer hash driveway. I mean, we could go on and on, but I think like season 9, I started to lose interest. It just got too scripted, too much yelling and screaming. You know, I just kind of lost interest at that point. Yeah, this definitely has to go over that. Why in the hell? How did I get the carpet? Well, I'm almost positive I probably clipped this in while the carpet was out. I came in here and looked at stuff and was like, oh, I better clip that in, and then it threw me off. So we'll get it. We'll get her. Kitty Loveland, Kitty, the hotel. He had, and then when they were in jail and Ray had stored all his liquor bottles in Bubbles' shed, and there was a liquor lounge. When he opened the shed, oh my God, Ricky, it's a liquor lounge. All those bottles of booze were falling down. Jeepers creepers, that's some good stuff there. The go-kart, you know how Ricky finally got some money. Then he went and pissed it all away on that just useless stuff. Bought everybody a bunch of crap. And then they had nothing. Oh, bought those encyclopedias for Trinity. So she didn't turn into a dum-dum like him. Oh my God. I want her to get learned. And then the used gas when they were siphoning, and they had God, what are Corey and Trevor stealing gas. And then they proved in court through some shitty VHS recording that it wasn't them, and they took the heat, and oh my God, it's just epic stuff. There we go. Epic stuff. Definitely. Bubbles always like recovering the shopping carts so he can resell them back to the store for money. What a brilliant storyline, really. And it's up there in Nova Scotia, eh? Up there, Canada, eh? The hash driveway. And that like Oriental grandmother with the twins that are like always walking around in their pajamas, half naked all the time. Oh, and then freaking Randy and Mr. Leahy, those are the two. I mean, those guys there are the real deal. Mr. Leahy, bless his soul, he's passed away now, but Mr. Leahy, what a great actor that man was. When he pissed himself selling propane, and first time him and Randy got busted dressing up. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So good. All right, I think we've got pretty much, other than this one kind of came undone, but that's okay. I think we got everything situated where it pretty much needs to be. I'm liking it. And we'll probably give it one more vacuum before we put the seats in, just because. All good on the subs, Moto, Old Mac. I loved it when Mr. Leahy filled his waiting pool with gin. Yes, it's the liquor, Randy, or I am the liquor. That's what I think that episode was actually named I Am the Liquor. And he turned himself into a Smurf, a blue Smurf from all that blue vodka. He filled the whole swimming pool. I mean, I'm sure it was just water, but oh my God. Yes, when they were smuggling, they locked, I think in one of the episodes too, they locked Bubbles into the meat locker because they're going to steal meat. Who steals meat? Oh my God. That's great. The waiting pool, Jen, that was so good. Fried potatoes brought in a whopping 7 subs so far. Nice. Yeah, it's crazy what stuff does. Did you ever see Just Passing Through show? Did you ever see Just Passing Through the train going under the... Yes. Yes, when they were smuggling. Oh my God, that was great. They'd send the train under the river through the corrugated tubing. Through the corrugated tubing under the water. And the train would come out, and then they'd pack it full of cigarettes and send it back. And then they had Shitty or whatever his name was with the box truck all ready to go. And then the government on both sides show up, and it's big shootout again. Of course, nobody ever dies. Nobody ever dies in that show, which I just love. Bubbles and the shit kickers. Oh yes, that is so funny. That is so funny. Yeah, we got her all. Sorry, I didn't get a good picture in there. Thank you, Moto. That nice job threading that stuff. It doesn't look easy. Well, it's a lot easier if you just remember where it went before. But yes, we want to. Sick as our Corey and Trevor. That's awesome. Or when they were in the woods, when Corey and Trevor were lost in the woods, and Bubbles, Julian, and Rick, you're partying, man. They're partying, and Ricky's like, "Hey, Bubbles, do you want any of this caviar?" And they're eating the best of the best foods, and then they find Corey and Trevor, and they've eaten and drinking every last bit of stuff they have, and they're eating oh my God, it's endless, old Mac. I love it. I'm so glad you can appreciate the humor in that show, and we can talk about that because it is just endless, epic, total relatable scenarios. We've all met that Corey and Trevor. We've all known Mr. Leahy. We've all ran into that Randy. Everybody knows who a Ricky in their life. It's just, and Bubbles, you may not have met one, but boy, can you fall in love with that character quick. They were buddies, yes. Juanito 23, hello again. Woke up to a puddle of coolant after 2 degrees overnight, 300K on a 2000 A4. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully, best episode, Kittyland. Yes, I loved Kittyland. Kittyland, yes. Was it the Kittyland Love Center? Kittyland Love, just Kittyland. I think it was just, yeah. I don't know why I always want to throw the love in there, but I think that was the same season of the Piss Jugs, if I'm not mistaken. What a great season that was. The Piss Jug episode when what's Ricky's dad's name? He was living in the sleeper, but not in the cat, just a sleeper box because it's the way of the road. The way of the road, man. Kittyland Love Center was correct. Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that, old Mac. Yep, it's just the way of the road. He'd always say, what was his dad's name? Why is it bugging me? It's right there, but if I can remember Cyrus, how can I not remember Ricky's dad, the trucker? And then when Trinity shot Ricky in the shoulder or something in the trailer. Oh, Jesus. Oh God, I could talk about this all night. Sorry, Moto, if you haven't heard it. It sounds like Juanito knows what's going on. Or he's saying that this is the best episode of Rob's Neighbor live stream he's ever seen, which I doubt that. But Kittyland Love Center was freaking epic. And then Ricky's used shit. And then the news came down. Oh my God, the news is here. And then Corey and Trevor, they had that like gas station too, or in the shed where they were selling like cigarettes, individual cigarettes. Who's ever heard of that? I mean, you'd always bum one from your buddy or something, I guess, back in the day, but you know, you never heard of anybody like proprietary, you know, like selling at a gas station other than like, you know, now there's facilities and stuff that sell things individually like that on the pharmaceutical side. But remember the snake bite. Taco want a cracker. Oh my, yeah, mulched, yes. Oh yes, the bird in the HVAC unit when they were growing in the trailer. Oh my God, it was just a puff of feathers out the exhaust fan. That was really good. That was really good. Remember the snake bite? I'm going to have to think on that one, old Mac. Ray LaFleur was daddy. The snake bite. Oh, yes. Was that when he was like sucking the venom out and then they mistook it as doing something else, and then there was gunshots and then they had that sandwich with the bird in it or something. Maybe was that the episode? It's just out of control now. This is the best. This is the best. I could literally just talk about Trailer Park Boys for hours and hours if you keep me going. I mean, it's amazing. And so like people don't understand the actual depth of that show, like how deep. I mean, there's a lot of love and a lot of, you know, care for each other, a lot of looking out for each other and involving everybody in the whole park as a family in some capacity. Oh Jesus, Phil Collins with the burgers, the greasy, what did they call that greasy burger joint? And then that's when Randy was going to jump the cheeseburger and got all messed up when he tried to jump it because he either was high or he wasn't high enough. And so yeah, that was epic. Oh, and then Sam Lasco, the veterinarian. Could we go on for that for days? Like literally caveman Sam. And then Ricky, there's the Sam squanch. Go get him, Ricky. And he just starts beating the piss out of him with a bat. And they're beating on him. And then they also thought that there was a Sam squanch when Julian was in a sleeping bag and he was approaching Bubbles' shed. And Ricky saw it from outside and they beat him pretty bad that time too. Another amazing episode. The Christmas one, their Christmas special. If you haven't seen the Christmas special, you are missing out because that was really good too. That was a really good Christmas special. The Big Dirty, I think that was a movie that they made when, like, The Big Dirty, or just a long episode where they stole the change at the movie theater out of the big gumball machine. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. I tried to watch as much as I could over and over and over. It happened at the wrecking yard. Yes, he had Corey to suck out the poison. I'm going to have to go back and check that one out, old Mac. I really, but I know of it, the wrecking yard. Oh, yes. Yes. Isn't that where Shitty worked anyway? That's where they met Shitty. He was the one that always drove the box truck and never said anything. He'd just make like a weird noise type of a thing when he acknowledged. Mr. Dancer wasn't a general. He was only a private. Yes. They killed him, they thought. They killed him, they thought. Okay. That's right. That's right. I remember that one. There are so many. I mean, there was every episode, like I say, up until season 9, it got a little out there. And I don't think, I just didn't watch it much past them. But 1 through 8 were definitely my favorites. And I think Snoop Dogg was even in on like one of the 8. He was in later, but it just got almost too scripted and too... And not that it wasn't ever scripted, but I think a lot of it was improv. I think a lot of it was they just kind of went with it. They had a general idea of this is how this episode's going to go. But, if you just want to say what you need to say, and all of Rickyisms, all the words he would mispronounce were just out of this world. I couldn't do that if I tried my hardest. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Sam. Yes. They had him strapped to the roof and they went around the corner and he fell. Tom Arnold also. Yes. They had him strapped to the roof and he fell off and just tumbled off the roof into the ditch. And they went back and he was fine. Because they had him rolled up in that mattress. Strapped to the roof, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. That's yes. Oh my gosh. And then too, wasn't one of them all tranked out one time? One of them got shot up with a bunch of tranquilizers in the veterinarian office. And oh God. I'm going to have to go back and watch some of that stuff. It's just, unfortunately, I don't know if it's all on Netflix, but I mean, maybe you can find some like highlight reels on YouTube, because now that I've seen all the episodes so many times, just going like kind of watching the highlight reels would be pretty cool. Let's see here. We got some 12s we're going to need. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. They put this little thing on it to protect it from juice. So if you spill your chocolate mocha latte all over the center console, and if it were to work its way through, the little flappy there is supposed to help prevent any juices from getting in there. Here they are. It's pretty cool. They only use 3 bolts, and they're of a different size than the rest. So you can't... Make sure we start them all, a couple threads, because I'm not going to impact these down. It's an airbag control unit. That's not necessary. It is bolted directly to the body of the car, though, so it goes through all the vibrations your car goes through. I just never felt it necessary to slam it or give that unnecessary vibration to a circuit board, even though it was made when circuit boards were made good. Holy bananas, it's almost 10:30, guys and gals and fellow humans. That's crazy. I need to get up and be a parent. I have a child in the house who is almost 13, so a young adult. 100 years ago, he'd have a family of 4 right now and be taking care of me, or I would most likely not be here. But either way, despite that, I need to go up and make sure that he has done what I've asked, and hopefully he's just asleep. I grabbed the wrong size. So Nissan also is like a big 10, 12, 14. They do not use 13s, or they didn't in this era ever, 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 never. Never, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever, 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 never, ever will you find a 13 on a Nissan of this era and older, other than on the airbag, and maybe a few other items, but not that I am aware of. It's just this, because they gotta, like, you're dealing with something special. Click, click. So that's a pre-programmed 13 foot-pounds of torque per the made-up service manual in my brain. Click. And the cars. I mean, just the endless silliness with the cars. Probably my favorite was when Julian got out of jail, and J-Rock and T had made a spoiler on the back of his car with hockey sticks and cardboard and shit. And he's like, $50, cool, man? Or I think it was $50 he wanted for it. And Julian's like, man, this just like hockey sticks and stuff. This looks like shit. And J-Rock's like, bam! I don't know. It's just the best. That was my favorite. And then when Bubbles was going to get him from jail, and he gets in the car and he's like cranking it over and beating on the steering wheel. There's no license, no registration, not a fucking thing on this car. Oh my God. What a good time. What a good time. There we go. All right. Now we got to put a G-force sensor. I didn't forget about it, but we're going to put our G-force sensor in quick. So this car says 98% of all parts are sourced from Japan, made in Japan, but yet it's got a Bosch yaw rate sensor. This is a yaw rate sensor. So there's a yaw. It's just a little doingy thing in there. I don't know which, however, this could be facing forward. And then it does yaw rate sensing. But it's made in Hungary, owned by a German company, put in a fully built Japanese car. So now this is not, you know what I mean? Like, Tom Arnold also, they had him straight up. Okay. Looks like my car, Court Kaiser, hello, hope you're doing good. Looks like my car had to take the seats out because I'm too big to fit in there with them. That's cool. A friend of mine has a Miata, and he doesn't have a seat. He just sits on the floor and puts his back against the back. Thank you for a walk in the trailer park. Good night. No door or trunk lid on Ricky car. Yes, I love the doorless stuff. And when he lives in his car and the squirrels were eating all the... Thank you, old Mac, for a trip down trailer park memory lane. I agree. What a good time that was. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. I'm going to put this yaw rate sensor in. Make sure that I've got a connector, which is right here. And that's going to go right there. And I'm going to go in and say goodnight to my son. I'll end the stream as well. So thank you all so much for stopping in, saying hi. Keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll be doing more live streams throughout the days ahead. I will for sure be on the Coffee Crew Thursday morning, and I might do that with Carl from his house. So we'll see. He hated them tree rats. I know, that was so fun. He'd start launching 9 mils at them, dude. He'd just start recklessly firing that hand, like just... They're eating everything. And then the rakins, when the rakins would get in there, the raccoons, he calls them rakins. And then they had crow problems. That one crow built Oh, they had a name for it. What was the name of that? But Sheryl Crow. Is that what they call her? Or the crow that made a big nest out of all the weed? Oh, I love it. I love it. But anyway, what a great walk down Trailer Park Boys memory lane. I'm going to run up to the house. I might just keep the live stream going. I don't know. I might not. It's 10:30. I should probably watch a show that I've wanted to see throughout the day. I've spent zero time for me, on me. That sounds weird, on me. But anyway, much love to y'all. Thank you so much for checking this out. Great seeing everybody. Have a good night.